Hey everyone, it's Lonnie Flowers and I'm back. This week I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience battling depression and what I believe depression to be. Depression is a very serious and debilitating mental condition that causes feelings of sadness and anxiety over a prolonged period. It's not simply just a case of the blues, but it is a very persistent mental condition and it can completely derail your life if you let it. Now, I had been fighting depression almost 2 years, and I had no intention of letting depression win. Depression can really affect anyone. It's not just teenagers, as some might assume, but definitely can affect midlifers and the elderly as well. Now, depression can really affect anyone who is not living in alignment with their true self, anyone who is not living in alignment with the will of God for their life. And I'm sorry to tell you, but if you're not living in alignment with the will of God for your life, then you have made yourself vulnerable to a plethora of mental and spiritual attacks as well. Depression's not something that happens overnight. It is definitely a rabbit hole. And I will tell you how I fell face first into my rabbit hole. Now, I graduated high school in 2 years when I was 16, and to date, that was probably the coolest thing I've ever done. I've yet to outdo myself. But immediately after that, I decided to take a stab at ruining my life, and I got myself into a 2 year relationship. Now, as much as I want to rag on my ex right now, I won't. And to tell you the truth, at the end of that relationship, I was really to blame because I spent 2 years of my life trying to get to know someone else when I should have really been trying to get to know myself. So, on January 1st of 2020, when I finally got the wake up call, I felt lost. I was distraught. I didn't know anything about myself, what my favorite color was, what I like to wear, what I like to do. I was so wrapped up in another person that I really did not know myself. And I knew that I had no other choice but to find myself in church. And that's exactly what I did. I started going to church with one of my good friends, and that definitely helped a lot. But because of COVID, everything shut down and I wasn't able to go to church for a while. And so, as I said in the last video, I thought the world was going to end and I thought that I had no other choice but to join the military. And as the good Lord should have it, I didn't end up doing that. But I was still feeling lost. And for a long time, I felt that way. Even in May of 2020, when the church did open up, I started going to a different church with another friend. And that's the church I'm currently a member of, Victory Life Church. God bless Victory Life Church. Victory Life does not know the impact that they have had on me, on my life, as far as my healing goes. And it's not necessarily the church, because simply going to church isn't going to help you if you're not listening to God's message, whatever that is. If you're not listening to whatever part of the message that resonates with you, you won't find anything in church. You're going for nothing. So pay attention is all I'm going to say. But I started going to church again, and I wanted to walk with God at my own pace, rightfully so. It wasn't until May of 2021 when I got baptized that things really started to change for me. But back to depression. Depression is really a tug of war. One moment you feel up, then you're down. One minute you feel hopeful for the future. and the next minute you feel hopeless. One minute you're in motion, you're ready to go, and then the next minute you're completely motionless. You wake up and you're happy and you're ready to start your day and you're ready to live your life, but then you want to get back in bed. And if you have the option to do so, then you do, and you stay in bed until you don't have a choice. That's what depression looks like. Depression causes you to lose your entire zeal for life. It changes your demeanor. Depression, it changes you. It makes you want to do evil things, makes you want to do dangerous things. It makes you just not care anymore about your own life. You literally don't care about anything anymore because you're just like, what's the point? Depression will lead you on many paths of destruction. Depression will lead you to substance abuse. It will lead you to thoughts of you know what. Depression will ruin your life. And it's very sad how it happens too, because we always talk about having a support system. And I can't say that I've always 100% of the time had a solid support system. I mean, I may have, but with some of my issues, I didn't always feel comfortable going to people about them. And I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to that, but I didn't always feel comfortable going to others about them. So oftentimes I felt isolated, and that's exactly what depression will do to you. Depression will isolate you. And above all things, I want to tell you that if you are going through a season of depression, force yourself to be around people, okay? Force yourself to experience life, the good parts of life, not the dangerous things in life, but that will lead to your you know what, okay? Just know that it will get better. It will. And I think that we all have that hope that things will get better. Otherwise, we would have you know what. And we're here now, and that's great. But depression, it can sometimes compound, you see, because it started with my relationship with my ex, but then COVID just ramped everything up. It was a compound of things, and then, you know, more things started to happen, and I just fell further and further into that rabbit hole. But then there was May of 2021, and that was my call to Christ. May of 2021, I surrendered my life completely to the Lord, and I got baptized. And you guys, it was the best decision I could have ever made. And so that's why in my next video, I would so love to talk to you all about my call to Christ. So stay tuned for that video. And I'm going to pour my heart out while I tell you guys what an amazing thing it was that I answered the call to Christ. God bless you.